Hi, sixth graders. Today we are going to be learning about speed word problem notes and how to calculate for speed. So I know that you do not have this sheet, but what I would like you to do is take out a scratch sheet of paper so you can do this with me. Just so you know, there will be questions that you will need to answer as we go along. So it would be very, very helpful if you had a scratch sheet of paper out so you could write this information down. Now, when we take notes, the first thing we always want to do is we want to write our essential question. So our essential question for today is, how do I calculate speed? So how do I calculate speed? Now, when we calculate speed, we're going to be doing a lot of math, and we're going to be working with word problems. So looking at the first question, it says Miss Griffinboyle ran 30 miles in 3 hours. What was her speed? Now, we give you the equation for speed, which is distance divided by time. So what we have to do in our word problem is find what the distance and time was. Now, when we look at the word problem, it says Miss Griffinboyle ran 30 miles in 3 hours. Now we have to figure out which was our distance and time. Now we know that miles is a distance and hours is time. So now all we have to do is we have to take those numbers and we have to put them in the correct spot. So we put our 30 miles, which is our distance, and we want to divide that by time, which is 3 hours. So when I type that into my calculator, I'm going to do 30 divided by 3. Now, I get 10. Now, when we do our units, we have to keep the units that we had. So we write that and say it as 10 miles per hour. Now, I'm going to practice with you 2 more times, and then you're going to have to do this on your own. Okay? So here is our next one. It says, Miss Sackett rode her bike 28 miles in 2 hours. Now when I go through these word problems, I want to right away find what my numbers are, so I circle them. Again, the question is, what is her speed? And again, we gave you the word problem. So it says the distance is blank. Now in this blank, not only do I have to put the number, but I have to put the units. So when I do this, I want to put 28 miles. Okay, the video is going to pause again, and you have to figure out what the time is in units as well as the number. So when you hit play again, we should have the answer of 2 hours. Now when you calculate your speed, you actually have to write out the equation again. So we are going to say speed equals, and I'm going to do my distance, so 28 miles, divided by, and I have to put my time in, 2 hours. Again, I'm going to put that into my calculator. Now the video is going to pause and you have to figure out if you have the correct answer. So I do 28 divided by 2 and I'm left with 14. Now if I just put 14, that would not be correct. I have to keep my unit. So I'm going to write miles per hour. Okay, now that per means for every 1 hour, I went 14 miles. Okay, so again, for every 1 hour, I went 14 miles. Okay, now if you notice, for these next ones, it is less and less information. So we're going to do these next ones as well. It's going to pause, and you're going to have to see if you have the right answer. So it says, Miss Willert swam 50 meters in 20 minutes. What was her speed? Now the first thing we want to do is circle what our numbers are. The next thing I want to do is distance equals and time equals, because those are the 2 numbers I need to solve for speed. So my distance is 50 meters. My time is 20 minutes. Now to calculate for speed, I have to do that distance divided by time. So again, on my calculator, I'm going to do 50 divided by 20. I get 2.5 meters per minute. All right, we have 3 more we are going to do. Miss Betsy walked for 20 minutes and went a distance of 15 meters. So Miss Betsy walked 20 minutes, distance of 15 meters. What was her speed? D stands for distance, T stands for time. Our distance is 15 meters. Our time, 20 minutes. I have to do my 15 meters divided by 20 minutes. And if you notice, I always have units, always. They do not go away. Now I'm hoping you got the correct answer. We did 15 divided by 20. We have 0.75 meters per minute. Okay, now the next questions are supposed to be a little easier, and please don't think about it too much. So it says a car is traveling at a speed. So this time it actually gave us the speed, and it says of 70 kilometers per hour. Now again, this little mark right here means per, which means 1. So when we look at it, it says how long does it take a car to travel 70 kilometers? Now the video is going to pause and we're going to have to see if we get this correct. So thinking about this, we know that it goes 70 kilometers per hour. So again, that word per means 1. So I know that it takes the car 1 hour to travel 70 kilometers. Now again, it says how far does the car travel in 1 hour? This is just asking the opposite question. So again, it's going to pause. Hopefully we get this correct. That car in 1 hour can travel a distance of 70 kilometers. All right, last one. In 2009, Usain Bolt ran the 100-meter dash in 9.58 seconds. So, again, he ran it in this amount of time, and it was this far. So we want to know how far did he run in 9.58 seconds. We know he ran 100 meters. Now, how long did it take him to run 100 meters? It took 9.58 seconds. So here is the real question. What is the speed? We now have our distance, and we have our time, and we have to do distance divided by time. So I have to write 100 meters divided by 9.58 seconds. I have to show my work. I have to have my units. So I'm going to do 100 divided by 9.58. So he ran 10.4 meters per second. So that is his speed. Now tomorrow, you are going to have to use a lot of this information to write us a summary. So again, I know you don't have this sheet. This video will always be available to you, and it would be helpful if you wrote this information somewhere to help you, okay? Please keep whatever stuff you have so that way you can use it to help you the next day. We miss you, students. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day.